Anyway, what have you been playing?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a good transition. Swingline Staplers, the Last Guardian.
Wait. Swingline Stapler, the last card. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Catch us up on how you're doing with Last Guardian.
Yeah. So my intentions were to beat this game over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Still didn't happen, and I'm gonna tell you why. Um, a good way to kind of sum up this game, and I actually wrote this down because it just kind of came to me while I was at work today. It's essentially solving fairly basic puzzles
Mm-hmm.
that consist of getting from A to B while communicating with a stubborn cat dragon as an 11-year-old boy in a beautiful dreamlike environment with terrible controls and response times. That is
Stubborn
what this game is.
Cat Dragon.
Yeah, there's our episode
Episode
right there.
title.
Yep. Stubborn cat dragon.
Oh
Dude,
god.
but seriously though, man, like I really want to love this game and there are
Yeah.
parts that I do enjoy, but it's just it's very maddening and it's
Mm.
painfully slow. And I think that's why it's taken me so long to beat it.
I feel like at this point you really are just beating it because you promised me you would.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
certainly part of the equation, man. The
You
rest
know?
of it is because I promised myself. Third, because I want to, put another notch on the chalkboard,
Yeah.
and then I do want to actually see where it's going to go
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I've invested enough time, and I only
Sure.
have apparently like 3 hours left. So, and that's another thing. Like, I guess I really thought that I had made more progress. Um, I guess I underestimated my time spent with it because there's approximately 3 more hours to go.
Wow.
Based on the walkthrough that I've referenced to figure out where to go,
Mm-hmm.
the guy beat it in just under 6 hours, and where I'm at is at like the 3 hour mark. So I thought that I had played for at least three, but I've only played for three after all this time. So it's that kind of tells you something.
But it sounds like it's a much shorter game than I had realized. Like I figured you were putting like 10 to 15 hours into this thing at this point.
Yeah, it's I want to say on how long to beat we looked it up. I want to say last time and it was at least 12 or 15 hours, which
Yeah.
it definitely feels like I've played it for that
It
long.
was
And it
still in my
feels like
it's in my fucking search history.
yeah, I feel like it's going to take me that long to still beat it.
Yeah, 13 hours.
But I mean, here's a couple notes I made. Like Trico is just so maddeningly frustrating to have as a companion
Mm.
because you have a lot of different commands that you can give him. Like as you progress through the game, you learn different commands where you can enable him to jump or to go a certain direction. But the way that they've engineered him in the game is they've made it so that he's kind of like a realistic animal or beast, if you will.
Okay.
So when you go to ask him to jump, he won't do it right away. It's kind of like, dealing with a dog or a new pet that isn't fully trained.
Hmm.
So if you tell a dog to jump, he won't jump at all. And you
Right.
got to keep saying it until they finally do it. And it's just as painful as like when you're at like a picnic and somebody's like, hey, Scotty, sit. Scotty, sit. And they just won't sit and they
Yeah.
just keep saying it and saying it. And you're just standing there and just like, dude, just give it up, man. He ain't going to
Right.
sit for you.
So, not that I'm condoning this behavior in real life, but can you just beat the shit out of the cat dragon?
No,
Oh,
you can't.
okay.
Because not only is he, absolutely massive compared to you as like this 11-year-old kid,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just not possible. This game is too kind, for those kind of actions.
Fair enough. That's disappointing, man. Like, I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago where you kind of get to a point with a game where maybe it's just not worth the effort to put into it, Is this the type of game that you think um, you might drop? Like, is it worth it for you to invest this much time into this game if you're not enjoying it?
Well, see, the thing is it's like this weird love-hate relationship that I think that I'm having with
Mm,
this game. For example, like the soundtrack is brilliantly composed, but
right.
somehow it doesn't even really seem fitting for the game.
Mm,
I feel like it could fit extremely well, but since the gameplay is so dry
right.
and sort of humdrum, it feels very like underdeserved. So, for example, think of it like the docking sequence from Interstellar.
Okay.
A monumental moment in film and music, but queued up when Trico attacks some guards briefly. So, if there's like a moment that I had last night where I had to escape some guards, Trico came in and knocked them over
Mm,
and, defeated them for me. But amazing music gets cued when that happens, and it just felt so out of place.
Okay.
But like it's those small little things are keeping me invested because I do like the soundtrack. I like the art style. The visuals are great. It does have that dreamlike quality to the environment that you're in, and I do like the bond that's formed between us.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like if I lost Trico, like I would actually feel it, for, as a gamer,
Right.
or as the player rather. But everything else about it is just really marred. The gameplay, the controls, the lack of precision, the constant fighting with the camera,
Okay.
all that kind of stuff is marring. Like think I had said on last episode, um, all the good parts about the game.
Yeah.
So, and the other reason I want to stick with it is because it is fairly highly regarded. It was reviewed well, and I think for the most part, the lowest score it got was like a 7 out of 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So, you know, I just want to see where it's going to go, and I think because I only have a few hours left, I should be able to do it.
Okay.
But man, I don't really sit there at work and think, oh, I can't wait to button up this game.
Yeah.
It's a chore now.
You should just
And when a
hit
game becomes a chore, it's never a good thing.
just hit Trico. Is it Trico?
Trico.
Yeah, just hit him with the swing line.
um, but yeah, it's. I think I'm going to save some of my other notes here for the review because I've got some more in-depth stuff that,
Hmm.
excuse me, I wrote down today.
All right.
But I want to save that for the final review because this is more of just like we're beyond first impressions. This is just progress. This is kind of where I'm at in the game.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm torn, and we'll see. I really hope that the rest of the game, kind of just squashes and buries some of the qualms that I have with it. But I doubt